Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my People and Pet Therapy podcast. I created this podcast to support pet owners and their pets at a holistic level. So physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. Not just as individuals, but also as like a group energy, a group bond where your energies tend to merge with your pet or pets. So we're going to be looking at such topics as pet bereavement, animal communication, spirituality, parts therapy, healing in all of its different guises, and more. And I'm going to be offering you case studies, personal experiences, my own unique insights, interviews, teachings, and again, so much more. So plenty to keep you both entertained and moving forwards. And thinking also about your own pet and yourself alongside what's being shared each episode, each week. So I want to help you deepen the relationship, connection, and understanding that you have with your pet or pets, but also with yourself. Because by doing this, two things happen. Number one, we create more harmony in the household. And let's face it, if our pets are happier, then we are too. Number two, awareness is empowerment. So if I'm not aware of something, then how can I change it? If I become aware of something that I need to change or that I want to change, then I have a choice. I can choose to keep doing the same things and getting the same results, as Albert Einstein said, or I can become empowered and actually start to create that change. I can start to think, feel, and act differently. So who am I? I am Victoria Smith-Gillard. I'm people and pet therapist, medium and healer, and owner of Ametrine Holistics Limited. And I help people heal. Through their pet issues. You'll find out a little bit more about that in a second. So I'm trained in both human therapies and animal therapies, including but not limited to hypnotherapy, canine flow, parts therapy, tapping, animal communication, and past life regression. I'm also a practitioner and teacher in Rahani Celestial Healing, which is a beautiful fifth dimensional healing modality that works very much with our heart centers. I work predominantly with female pet owners in three distinct ways. So number one, I help to resolve emotional and behavioral issues with living pets, and you'll understand in a moment why I say it in that particular way. And I work together with both the pet and yourself, the owner, to help resolve the issue or issues. Because pets pick up on us. They pick up on our hearts. They pick up on anything that we are emitting, consciously or not, from that heart, because it's an electromagnetic field. And the biggest way they sense the world is through electromagnetic fields. Yes, absolutely, they do carry their own traumas, okay? But also they do reflect back to us what we are holding within, ourselves on a cellular level that we have been through that we haven't healed yet. So unhealed wounds, basically, is what they are helping us with. And to give you an example, I'm going to list some dogs that I've worked with that actually it was around being attacked. So I worked with one dog who was being aggressive towards other dogs. And during the consultation, when we were kind of going through all of the information, the word that came in for me was attacked. And I said to the owner, forgive me for asking this, but have you ever been attacked yourself, like physically or verbally or anything else? And they shared with me several instances of different types of attack that they had been through. And there were several that related to dogs. Okay, and by them sharing this, we started to discuss more so why their dog was then being aggressive towards other dogs, because unconsciously there will have been a trauma there, when a dog comes up to them or when a dog looks at them in a certain way or comes close to their arm or, wherever, whichever body part, for instance, they've been attacked, and they will react to that. And that's what their pet, that's what their dog was picking up on. I also worked with another lady, again, a similar thing. Her dog was actually attacking or wanting to attack black dogs in particular. And again, the word attacked had come into me. And I actually said to this lady, same question really. And she said yes. And in this instance, somebody had come up this lady from behind. And because she was in it at that moment as she was talking to me, I actually worked with EMDR in that instance to help her release emotionally. But what was also beautiful was as we were doing that, her dog came very close to both of us. And as she was going through that energetic shift, that emotional release, they started whining and whimpering and sort of, pacing up and down. So they could feel that energy was shifting. They could feel that emotions were leaving this person's body, that layers of this trauma were being released. And the thing is that it's amazing that actually when that happens, things can then change with your pet as well. And I checked in with her in a few days' time, and she actually said to me, "Oh my goodness, you won't believe this. We went to the vets. There was a black dog there, and he was as good as gold." That was her words. He was as good as gold. And she said it was such a change because he has nearly ripped my arm out of its socket before to try and get to a dog. So it just shows when we actually start releasing what we're holding on to, that they're trying to show us how their behavior changes as well. So they are our messengers, they are our mirrors, they are part of the collective consciousness. They are here to help us heal if we allow it. If we allow it. So I do support the theory of metaphysics. So simply put, this is the emotional connection to anything underneath a physical condition. And the reason I do is because it's come up so much in my work. I've studied research done by the HeartMath Institute, by Yvette Rose, Rupert Sheldrake, just to name a few. And that supports, as I say, a lot of the work that I do. So the second distinct way that I work with pet owners is I work with bereavement. So I work with bereaved, grieving pet owners and pets. So I help to bring through a pet who has passed a spirit, and I help to bring through messages, healing, guidance. Often the owner has experienced their pet from spirit and just doesn't believe it. So again, that communication can actually bring validation for the owner that, yes, you know what, that actually did happen. Using animal communication or a different therapy, I can help any living pets that are also grieving, that are struggling with the loss of a pet. And again, I'm bringing through the same kind of things, and also the reconnection to that soul that is now in spirit, as well as the healing. So just to share another example with you, a friend of mine asked me to come over and see her dog, Bella. Bella was a Ridgeback, a Ridgie. And basically, she was reacting to anything external to the house, to the environment. And this could be people just walking past. This could be cyclists, cycling past. It could be a bus going past. It could be dustmen coming past. And she was just barking and being reacting to this. And I said to her mum, when did this start? And she said, well, it actually started when her brother, Edward, who was also another Ridgie, passed away. So we kind of already knew where this was probably heading. But when I went to see Bella, in that particular instance, I used canine hypnotherapy with her. So I actually used a guided hypnosis or visualization with her to reconnect her with Edward, to let her know she could call him close at any time she needed to give her support, because he was her protector, when he was here. So again, and just to explain what happened, it was so beautiful for myself and her owner to witness during that visualization, during that hypnosis, the emotional release that occurred, the relief, both seeing it within her body and hearing it, of her being able to release some of that grief. And her mum actually said to me, it's going to be really interesting because the dustmen are actually coming this afternoon. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And when I checked back in with her, she said, do you know what? She was so much better. She didn't bark, she didn't react. So again, it just shows you when they can also have that emotional release, just how wonderful it can be for them, and again, how their behavior changes. So the third distinct way that I work with pet owners is actually due to my codependency background. So I work with females who are in or have been in toxic relationships, and I help them to rebuild their self-esteem, their self-worth, self-love, compassion, and help them to kind of step back into their own power. With codependency, everything is very others orientated. We love others, we protect others, we rescue others, we're responsible for others. Everyone else comes first. We're not even on the list. So we help them to reclaim their own power, to step into their own power. And there's also so much more to that, building healthier boundaries, becoming more assertive, and so on. So what do I hope that you get from this podcast? Well, first of all, I hope that you begin to see your pet in a different light, in a more compassionate light. I hope that your mind is blown in all that they are and how they come to help us. For you, I hope that you have insights, aha moments, you get tips and suggestions, things to reflect on, things to think about. And even, to be honest, just hearing what's been shared can create positive shifts in your self-awareness. And that can also allow you to have a better understanding of what makes you right in this moment, like right now, with everything that you've gone through up to that moment in time, and how to move forwards with it. So let me introduce you to the first session. The first season, in fact. Major personality parts are driving your life. So I do this as a talk, but it's shorter and a lot less in depth. But very often people go away feeling both enlightened and reflective, able to kind of see how that particular part is playing out in their life. And I've done a lot of parts therapy on myself. I've had a lot of insights and a lot of healing that way. And I hope that you have the same, that, as I say, it helps you to understand how that part is beginning to play out or is playing out in your life. And a few tips here and there as to how you can actually then start to move forwards. So watch out for the next episode. That will be in a week's time. Plus, I'm going to be sharing with you across the board a bonus series called Shaking Up the Vet Industry. This is going to be aired once a month. And it's all about, this is not about dissing the vet industry at all. This is about empowering you as pet owners to have more knowledge and options that you can discuss with your vet. And the reason that has come about is because of my journey, for instance, with Puss, my own cat, and also with my background in veterinary referrals as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. That will be aired once a month. And the other podcast episodes, as I say, will be once a week. So in the interim of next week's episode, if you have any questions, any takeaways from what I've shared with you today, then please do feel free to hop on over to my Facebook page, Amatrine Holistics Limited. You can go to my LinkedIn profile, which is my own name, Victoria Smith-Gillard, or my Instagram account, which is People and Pet Therapist. And what you can do is click like if you want to follow, and obviously keep up to date with more episodes that will be coming out, just so you don't miss one. And please comment on the post for that podcast episode. So last but not least, I am wishing you and your pets a lot of love. And until our next episode, goodbye for now. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my People and Pet Therapy podcast. I created